Ah, yes, Mecha Chameleon. The game where apparently the greatest survival strategy known to mankind is paint yourself beige and hope nobody notices you. And you know what? Sometimes it actually works. Mecha Chameleon is one of those games that sounds incredibly stupid when you're trying to explain it to someone. So, what do? Well, you paint yourself, alright? And then you stand next to things, right? And somebody tries to find you. And you paid money for this? Yes. And today we're going to find out whether you should too. So let's review Mecha Chameleon. Mecha Chameleon is basically hide and seek. Except you're a human chameleon with access to paint bucket and absolutely no respect for interior design. When you're hiding, you can paint different parts of your body to match the environment around you. Then you choose a position, try to blend in and pray. And that's basically it. And honestly, that's exactly why it works. The game doesn't need 20 different mechanics or 40 minutes tutorial. The concept is simple enough that almost anyone can understand it immediately. Hide, blend in, don't get caught. Simple. Until you actually try doing it. Playing as a hider is definitely where some of the funniest moments come from, because Mecha Chameleon gives you enough freedom to actually be creative with your hiding spots. You aren't just looking for the darkest corner of the map. You're looking at colors, objects and shapes and trying to figure out how you can make yourself belong there. And after a while the game does something very strange to your brain. You stop seeing normal objects. You start seeing opportunities. That's not a table. That's a hiding spot. That's not a wall. That's my new family. That's not a pile of boxes. That's a 3-bedroom apartment with excellent camouflage potential. And when you find a spot you're confident in, there's this wonderful feeling of there's absolutely no way they'll find me here. Whether that's actually true, it's a completely different story. The painting mechanic is what really separates Mecha Chameleon from normal hide and seek games. You have to actually think about how your character looks against the environment. And you think matching colors would be easy? It's not. Because apparently I've spent entire life believing I understand what colors look like. And Mecha Chameleon has proven otherwise. That's definitely green. Nope. Apparently that's olive. Okay, that's green. Nope, that's moss. What do you want from me? But that little bit of difficulty actually makes the system more interesting. If you could instantly copy whatever color you were standing beside, there wouldn't be much challenge. Instead, you're trying to make yourself look convincing enough that another human being doesn't immediately thinks, why does that wall have legs? Then you have the other side of the game, the seeker, and this completely changed how you look at the map. When you're hiding, everything looks like a potential hiding place. When you're seeking, everything looks guilty. You start analyzing the smallest details. Was that always there? Was that always that color? Why does that lamp look nervous? And that's where the game becomes a little more than just hide and seek. You're learning the maps. You're learning where objects normally appear, and most important, you're learning how other players think. Sometimes the smartest hiding place isn't the most complicated one. It's the one that's just believable enough that nobody questions it. Playing with other people is extremely important. Mecha Chameleon is the type of game that becomes significantly better depending on the people you're playing with. With the right group, the simplicity becomes one of the biggest strengths. You don't need everyone to spend hours learning complicated mechanics. You could bring some friends together and very quickly understand what you're supposed to be doing. And then the stupidity begins. There's something inherently funny about watching people take something as ridiculous as camouflage hide and seek extremely seriously. Suddenly you got grown-ass adults discussing camouflage strategies like they're planning a military operation. Okay, you take the kitchen, I'll cover the hallway. What about Steve? Steve has painted himself bright purple. Steve is on his own. Simple doesn't mean bad, and this is probably one of the biggest compliments I can give Mecha Chameleon. I know exactly what kind of game it wants to be. It isn't trying to give you an enormous story. There aren't 50 different systems you need to learn. You're not spending 20 minutes comparing statistic on pair of trousers. You load into the game and you play hide and seek. That's it. And sometimes that's refreshing. Especially when so many games today feel like they need battle passes, daily challenges, 15 currencies, and a menu that looks like a dashboard of a Boeing 747. Mecha Chameleon just says, here's some paint, go and hide. Thank you, I can understand that. But is that enough? The simplicity can also become one of the game's weaknesses, because the core concept is very specific. If you don't enjoy the hide and seek itself, there's not some enormous secondary system waiting to completely change the experience. The game relies heavily on that main idea being entertaining, and for me, it is. But I can also see how many players might eventually want more variety, more ways to play, more environments, more reason to keep experimenting. Thankfully, community content and workshop support can help with that. And this is exactly the kind of game where community created maps can make a massive difference to its long-term replayability. The price. Then we have something that matters with any game. Is it worth the money? And I think this is where you need to understand what you're buying. You're not buying the next enormous AAA game. You're buying a multiplayer game built around one really fun idea. And personally, I'd rather have a game do one thing really well than have 20 different mechanics that are completely forgettable. If you got friends who enjoy games like this, I think you will very quickly get your entertainment out of this. Especially because every player approaches hiding differently. Some people are clever, some people are creative, and some people apparently believe that standing in the middle of a room painted bright yellow is camouflage. And somehow those people are usually the ones I can't find. So where does that leave Mecha Chameleon? It's simple, it's weird, it's creative, and most importantly, it's fun. The painting system takes normal hide and seek and gives it its own identity. Playing as a hider lets you experiment and come up with ridiculous strategies. Playing as a seeker turns you into a paranoid detective who no longer trusts furniture. And playing with friends can turn an incredibly simple concept into hours of stupidity. Is it perfect? No. I'd definitely like to see the game continue expanding with more variety and more reason to keep coming back. But the foundation is already really entertaining, and sometimes that's all a game needs. So for Mecha Chameleon, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. A simple idea executed surprisingly well. And definitely a game I'd recommend if you got a group of friends who enjoy party games and hide and seek. Just remember the most important rule: match your colors, because apparently painting your entire body bright pink and standing next to a brown wall is not camouflage. Who knew? That's my review of Mecha Chameleon. If you played it, let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the review, leave a like and consider subscribing for my game reviews. Until next time, stay hidden, stay colorful, and remember, if the furniture starts moving, run! Thanks for watching.